I'm not teaching, I am publicly learning. A time welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 140, the Welfare State Part 2, while doing restraining, and if you participate in restraining, that is at your own risk. So what we already had. In 1945, the people wanted change, and they elected a Labour government. And they were introducing, under the Prime Minister Clement Attlee, a welfare state. And the Minister of Health, Honorable Bevar, introduced the National Health System, NHS, National Health System, NHS. And that is intended to make sure that everyone in Britain has at least a guaranteed minimum amount of healthcare. And also other benefits were introduced to make sure that people from the cradle to the grave were protected. That means from the moment they are born in, and when they are often in the grave, when they are born late in, and if they die, they're coming into a grave late in. To express it a bit morbid. The government took into public ownership, nationalized the railways, coal mines, gas, water and electricity supplies. So, the government took into public ownership. That means nationalized. So, someone could say we are nationalizing something. Yes, it becomes now nationalized. It becomes part of a nation. So it is now part of the public ownership. The government takes it, and now it's part of the public ownership. Because now it's part of the public, and the government is the representative of the public. I don't want to define any more on these words around. The government took into their possession, which means in the possession of the public. It is nationalized. The railways, so the trains in Britain, are belonging to the government, or in other words, they're belonging to the public, because the government belongs basically to the public. And coal mines, so we talked a bit about that. Coal is under the earth, a kilometer, sometimes 2 kilometers, sometimes not that much, and coal mines are going down and they're digging the coal up. Coal mines and gas. Britain has offshore gas and oil. Whatever. Besides of coal mines, also places where gas, and we don't mention it, but I think also oil. Now I'm pretty sure there are oil platforms on the territory of Britain, or which are belonging to Britain, which are not part of the government. Maybe something had changed after 1945. Maybe I'm confusing something. The government took into public ownership, or the government nationalized the railways, the coal mines and gas. Maybe they mean the gas delivery, because water and electricity, coal mines and gas, water and electricity supplies. I'm using again a strange usage of a comma. So they nationalized the railways, coal mines, because gas is not mined. I don't know what's the proper expression, but it's not mined. Railways, coal mines and gas, water and electricity supplies. Maybe the people have to pay for the water, gas and electricity, but the firms who are delivering it are part of a public ownership, nationalized, are part of the government, or are governed by the government. So the point is, the things they are writing here can look in reality in a completely different manner, which we never had thought of. So it couldn't be part of the public ownership, but that does not mean that it's free. The trains in Britain are not free. Gas, water and electricity are not free. But the firms are belonging to the government. So there's another third way. It's not belonging to a private company, and it's not free. It's not part of the public. It's not for free. But the firms themselves belong to the government. That means it's a completely third free way, which I think at least half the people reading this will never have come to that idea by themselves if they don't know it from their real life. And if they know it from their real life, why is it then written here? Or why do we have to learn that? So it's a third way. It cannot now happen that the private company just dictates the prices of gas, electricity and water, the government, and that the people who are voting, the people in the government, are saying how they should be, and there's no one making a lot of money with it. Because it's part of the government, it's the ownership of the public. But that does not mean that it is free. It is controlled, it is owned by them, but it does not mean it is free to use. That is a third way, which I think people who did not have heard of that way before, basically never will come to that idea that it has happened. And now we're doing the whole risk training, because we want to do it. And when we're gonna go back, we're gonna make maybe new, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know how long we take for the risk training. So we're doing the risk training. And if you participate in it, that is at your own risk. We're having the hands flat next to us. And we're bringing them to the inside. And to the outside with flat hands. And we're having a good and stable stance. It's the point, even if I know how the gas, electricity and water supply happens in Britain, that they have to know when and where was it introduced. And to the outside. And to the inside. And that was the last time. And now we're doing the pancake flipper. We're having flat hands next to us. And we're flipping them up to the sky. And again down. A few more times. Last time. And now the T-Rex in the morning. Hands out, the flat hands, and we're bringing these flat hands down. They can also be a bit flat. And up, it's about the wrist. And the last time. And now the cautious big bang, we're placing the fingertips of one hand on top of the fingernails of the other hand. But we're pressing with a little force. And we're opening. And closing. And we're opening again. And closing. And now we're changing. The other hand on top. And we're opening. And closing. And now last time, we're opening and closing, and I think we don't have an exercise left. So we're just doing a relaxation exercise. We're going with middle amount of force over the middle part of the lower. Now on the upper side. And the last time. Now we have 7 minutes. So, in 1945, under Clement Attlee, who was then the new Prime Minister, a Labour government was elected and the welfare state was established after the Beveridge Report. In 1948, the Health Minister, Enrin Devane, established the National Health System, the NHS, and that guaranteed for everyone a minimum standard of health for free. Free at the point of use. So that is free. The NHS is free. A national system of benefits was also introduced to provide social security, so that the population would be protected from the cradle to the grave. So there was a protection so that everyone has a protection from the moment they are born until the moment when they die, protected. But here is not said that that is free. I assume that here are demandations with there has to be something done to get that. The government took into public ownership, so they nationalized the railways, coal mines, and gas, water, and electricity supplies. So in Britain, the railways, the coal mines, and gas, water, and electricity supplies are nationalized and are governed by the government. They are not free, but they are not in private hands, but in the hands of the government. They are part of a public ownership. They are nationalized. Another aspect of, and we should remember here in quotes, is in 1948, Henry Neubewan, the Minister for Health, led the establishment of a National Health Service (NHS), which guaranteed a minimum standard of healthcare for all free at the point of use. Another aspect of change was self-government for former colonies. Yes, I mentioned it already. So let's go back so that we have clear what we already had. Eventually, by the second half of the 20th century, there was, for the most part, an orderly transition from empire to commonwealth, with countries being granted their independence. Another aspect of change was self-government for former colonies. In 1947, independence was granted to 9 countries, including India, Pakistan, and Ceylon. Ceylon is now Sri Lanka, is in here. So Ceylon is now Sri Lanka, and other colonies in Africa. The Caribbean. Why don't they say what colonies in Africa? The amount of countries nameable of Africa is 1 or 2, or maybe 3. Of how many? 40, or are there 50? And here again, not a single one is mentioned here. We had one here, the Union of South Africa, as part of the Allied Forces. The colonies, other colonies in Africa. It would be a good point to maybe name 2 or 3 names of Africa, so that we are learning that there are different countries with different cultures and different people living there and different politics and that Africa is not everywhere the same, that there are great differences in Africa. The Caribbean and also the Caribbean technically also, and the Pacific achieved independence over the next 20 years. So other colonies in Africa, the Caribbean, and the Pacific achieved independence over the next 20 years. Let's take a look. The problem is I can't open both at the same time. So we're having here the word. I'm not sure if it is really necessary, but I want to try it out a bit. And I'm having exactly 3 minutes, and I want to do a second part. So we're having here a world map, and now we're trying to find Britain. Britain is in the middle of the map. That means it's Englandic. We can't see it properly. So here's Great Britain, and we're having then here's India. There's India. India and there's Pakistan. So India and Pakistan granted independence in 1947, and also many countries in the Caribbean. Here are they. I'm just going to read the country names here, which I can find. So we're having, but that is independent of if they were part of the British Empire or not. Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Mexico, I won't name, Panama, and they have written the country names and the city names all together. So multiple countries here in the Caribbean. And then we said in the Pacific, that is here. So multiple countries in the Pacific. Here's in Indonesia, because we had it once. Here's Indonesia. And for example, some countries from Indonesia are, no, not from Indonesia, from South Pacific are here listed as Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar. And here's Thailand. That here, so here's India, there's Pakistan, and there is Ceylon, or today Sri Lanka, that island there. And then multiple countries from Africa. I don't know which, but let's just go through a few here at the bottom. So there's Angola, there is Zambia, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, and the Republic of South Africa. And we're having 1 minute left. The UK developed its own atomic bomb and joined the New North. So we're going to completely through. We're going fast through. We will not do that at that time. We're going to do another part and then we can go back. We have 40 seconds left. I don't think that this is enough. Maybe. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for the doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. The beginning of If by Rudyard Kipling. We're having ended the day. I thank you very much, and until next time.